What's up, YouTube? So I got another story on migrants in New York. I know it seems like I do a lot of stories on this, but it's like an ongoing current issue, and it's just each time a new topic pops up, it's just so interesting to me because I'm just really trying to see how this all is going to play out. So this one is from the New York Post, titled "New York Considering Relaxing Work Qualifications for Thousands of Jobs to Hire Migrants." So basically, what New York wants to do is create these transitional titles, and they have that in quotation marks, to allow the migrants to work in these federal jobs, these state jobs, if they have their federal work authorization. And apparently the state has identified 4,000 state jobs that could be filled by the migrants, which I find very interesting. They say most of these are hard to recruit entry-level titles, and the plan will be to allow the migrants to skirt requirements like English proficiency, proof of education, or previous employment. The governor is looking to eliminate the red tape to basically get this done. Now, their State Department of Civil Service Commissioner emphasized that the proposed requirements for migrants are similar to the existing apprenticeship programs that they already have, and that the relaxed rules, if adopted, would apply to all New Yorkers. So basically, they're trying to push it like it's kind of like something we already have, but we don't officially have it, but we kind of already have it. Yeah, very interesting. Basically, the type of work that they're looking to fill in these so-called transitional jobs would be intellectual of care, working for intellectual and developmentally disabled individuals, custodial workers, food service, facilities repair, and clerical positions. And those would be the jobs that saying this would be a win-win for the state to connect qualified and motivated individuals with meaningful jobs and opportunity, help solve the migrant crisis, and rebuild the state workforce. Okay. I find this very interesting for a couple reasons. The first reason being this. Listen, I get it. The migrants are here. They have to find something to do with them. We got to figure out where we're going to house them, and eventually they want to get them into the workforce to get them generating money for themselves and for the economy. I get all that. However, it's just amazing how all these different rules and things are starting to get bent, and all these different new programs and all this sudden help is all just becoming available all of a sudden, and the migrants seem to be getting all these new things when the homeless people, the veterans, low income people, I mean, everyone's out here struggling, really. If you're not making six figures, essentially, everyone out here struggling. So it's just amazing, for none of those groups of people, these type of programs have not, or these type of things have not just been brought to the forefront like they are now. So that's number one. Number two, I find it interesting that they're saying these are hard to recruit entry-level titles. 4,000 is a lot of jobs. That's a lot of jobs. I don't think those are hard to get. Are hard to recruit someone for. What I think the issue is the pay that they're probably offering. They're already in New York. New York is already high as hell. But just couple that with the fact that, we already dealing with everyone around the world. It's, at least in the U.S., is dealing with inflation, high inflation, which has made all prices go up. Groceries are high. Utilities are high. Insurance is out of control. Rent is out of control. Property tax is out of control. Everything is out of control at this point. And the only thing that has been stagnant, while everything else is going up, is wages. So when they say it's hard to recruit entry-level titles, yeah, I get it's an entry-level job. Get that. But that don't mean it has to be paid trash. So that's the difference. And I feel like that's probably what this is. But I still feel 4,000 is a very large number. I find that to be very interesting. The other thing, and probably the main issue I have with this, is the fact of them just letting them skirt over the requirement of being proficient in English. Now, it would be different if they were saying, hey, these particular jobs we're going to put them into are going to be Spanish-speaking roles primarily. Now, I'm not saying all of the migrants are coming from Mexico or Spanish speaking countries. I know we're getting some from all over Asian, a little bit of everywhere at this point. It's just a free fall at this damn point. But a good amount are coming from our bordering country of through Mexico for all those southern, south of the border countries are Spanish speaking. So if it was something like, hey, you know, these are going to be aimed towards roles of Spanish speaking job primarily, I get that. But the fact that them just no English, that's a problem. For me, it's a problem because even in my day of here, just like say I go to a food place, a basic fast food place or whatever, just trying to easily tell them something. Like it's some workers they just hand out the food or whatever. If you have any question, any need something's missing, they don't understand any English, and so they would have to either go get the manager, get another English speaking employee, and that can be difficult. Sometimes I can usually point to things and we can figure it out between them pointing, I'm pointing. Usually we can figure it out somehow, but sometimes they have to just go get an English speaking. And so that's just on like a basic with dealing with in food, right? Imagine these positions where it's of course going to be a little more complex than food. That could be an issue. Now it shouldn't be an issue for dealing with the custodial work, food service facilities. You might can get around that, but dealing with the disabled individuals in a clerical position for sure. I feel like they need to be English proficient, unless the disabled individual are strictly Spanish speaking. But in the clerical positions, they 100% need to be English proficient. Reason being, if someone, a lot of these companies or whatever, if you have a concern or you need to escalate something, you have to go through their customer service, which means they're depending on the notes that rep writes to fix your issue. So if they're not English proficient, things can get mistranslated, misunderstood, miscommunicated, and then down the line, something's not achieved because the customer thought was one thing, what was typed was different, or what was communicated was different. It could be issues, and that's my only issue. Basically, the whole thing is a mess. This whole thing is a mess at this point, and I know New York is going through it because they're a sanctuary city. But hey, y'all have to be a sanctuary city, so now they got to deal with it. They're getting immigrants bust from Texas and everything. So it's, New York probably up there going through it. At this point, with so many being there, 47,000, that's a lot. That's a lot when you don't have housing for it. And at the current time, only 2,850 of nearly 47,000 migrants have been approved for work. A very small number. They need to get that number way, way larger. So I don't know. From the comments, no one's really feeling it. It's like, well, what about the Americans at this point? Shouldn't those jobs be filled by American taxpaying people? I get it. I 100% get it. It's just and that's why I keep on reporting on these different stories when they pop up, because I'm just seeing how everything is playing out. I get these people need to work and things of that nature, but I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna get messy, and hopefully it worked out for the best. But I don't know. I'm just a spectator at this point. That's what I am. I am a spectator at this point, seeing how all this is going to play out, because it does not look like it's going to be good. It looks like a disaster waiting to happen. I feel like it is kind of like a disaster, but I feel like it's going to be an even bigger disaster sooner than later, unfortunately. If we don't put a halt and stop people from coming through the borders for at least a few months, so we can get the migrants we have here situated and under control and get out of that under control. If we can't even get what we got here situated and under control, and then we constantly letting people keep coming in, chaos is going to erupt at some point. So if we can just seal the borders off for at least a few months to just get the migrants that we have here situated, I think that would help. But hey, yeah. Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't already. Till next time, later.